I mean, London this time around is a little bit different. Third time that we're here. You've all got very different qualification stories coming into this LAN as well. Oski, I'll start with you. On a brand new team, on Oxygen, how is it feeling coming here and how did you get to London?
It's a team that I wanted to build right after last season. So it was a free, I think, in my opinion. Best players outside the Frenchies. From the start, bro, we were just we clicked like that. It felt so good. And obviously the 4 French teams were so strong. Mm-hmm. So it was hard, but I mean, we knew we could make it. We knew we were better than a couple of them. Not going to name names. But.
And we're going to get into what's happened in Europe, of course. Maxi, obviously you've had a completely different journey to what Oski's described. How did you get here?
Didn't really go to plan, to be honest. We reached the grand finals against, I guess you can call our rivals Elevate. And we lost 4-0.
Yeah. 4-2, please. 4-2.
Yeah, 4-2. Yeah. Regional 2, Regional 3. Regional 2 was pretty close, to be fair. We were quite nervous because obviously if we didn't win that regional, there's very low chance that we're going to make this major.
I mean, you guys obviously then not having to go through tiebreakers. Looking to come, over in North America, OG had quite a journey, I think, to make the third London.
Felt like, well, for the split, I mean, we started off kind of slow. We were slow in Copenhagen. We just weren't playing how we knew we could play. Started off, I think we get 8th, so 5th through 8th, lose to SSG, team that we want to be able to beat consistently. So then we go to the next one, we play against SSG again, then we lose to them in semis. Then we're like, okay, finally, we gotta get together, we gotta figure out what's wrong. Obviously, we know something's off, we can't play together well, everything's just not feeling well. Going to third regional, we put in a ton of effort, a ton of work, and we finally got everything to click. Going against SSG again, finally beat them. I think we also beat Gen G, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we beat Gen G in quarters. And then we also beat SSG, finally overcame them. Lost to G2 there in a series that we definitely could have won, but we just made some mistakes that shouldn't have, which then led us to the Shopify tiebreaker because they ended up making it through grand finals. Mm-hmm. Just saying, if we play Moist in semis, I think there's a good chance we're in the grand finals there, but props to them, they went 3-0 in Swiss, so they get Moist in semis and we get G2. To be honest, we didn't really doubt that we would win that at any point. It shouldn't have gone to 7, to be honest. We're having moments where we're just not doing what we know we should be doing, and went to 7, and that's the most nervy series I think I've ever played. I think the experience showed through. I think all of us are super experienced with that, so we held our nerve well, but 0-0 game 7, 5-minute OT for 2 LAN qualifications is pretty crazy. But yeah, happy to have taken that.
Yeah, that was, by the way, one of the best series. Just exciting, edge of the seat. I don't know if you guys were watching at the time.
I watched it. It was crazy to be fair.
It was watching it live as well when obviously you don't know the result, and it was amazing saves, amazing shots, stunning throughout.
Hello there everybody and welcome to the RLCS Coaches Roundtable, where we'll discuss coaching in Rocket League. And I'm lucky enough to be joined by 3 of the best in the very game. I've got Eversax, a major winning coach. I've got Jimmer, a 6-time this season regional winner, multiple major qualifier as a coach. And then Torment, a world champion as a player, transition to coaching. Now you've got OG to the last 2 majors. So huge achievements from each and every one of you in the Rocket League scene. And I think we wanted to just give you guys a chance to talk about coaching, about what you do. Because Torment, I think that in the Rocket League world, people don't really know specifically what it is that you each add.
You can't see as much on the field. It's a very fluid game, so there's no clear-cut plays and strategies you can write up, CS, Valorant, League of Legends, whatever. So obviously, yeah, without hearing insight from players or actually being there in the room with us, you would have no idea what the coach's input is, I guess.
I think that's one of the main things I want to talk about in this. And Eversax, I want to talk to you about that first, because I feel like Gentlemates, our former major winners, they're known as being a team who are so much more than the sum of their parts. For some reason, when those 3 brilliant players come together, they elevate each other even more. How much of that has been through what you discussed with them, and how much of that is a natural synergy?
When the team is created, I let the players play together and I observe to see how it is going on the field. And then I'm gonna try to change stuff in their gameplay so everyone is doing what they're really good at on the field and what they like another one is taking care of it. Asking ourselves, are we doing the good stuff? Should we change that? And then we come to the tournament and hoping for the best.
Do any of you have an example of what Eversax is talking about there, where something maybe wasn't working, and you, as the coach, said, we should try this, or this player should tweak that, and it being successful? Is it ever that direct for any of you? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had like a documentary as well, so you technically can see that insight. But like at our first major, obviously, didn't go great. But we had like a play style we kind of weren't confident in, and like people started voicing their opinions almost like too late, obviously. But we've gotten better at that, and yeah, like we'll like try to do something, and then this player's like, I feel uncomfortable here, and then we go in the replays usually, and obviously try to tweak something so they can feel more comfortable. So yeah, definitely. Was
that tough for OG? Because the start of this season, you were 0-3 in the first Swiss, and in the second 0-2, and then suddenly things clicked. What were the conversations like?
When we were down 0-2, it was more just trying to turn the vibes around at that point. Sometimes as a coach, it is like just reminding your players, and like this is just clearly not what we tried to execute. And
yeah.
There's like so many things, obviously, we don't know is going to be the iconic thing that happens at this London event. Looking towards your origins that each of you have, I think there's those different stories coming from an emerging region that I want to touch on with you, Maxi, where it's a different story. From North America and Europe, they've always been able to compete. That's always been regions that you're able to grow from. You can look at the RLCS as, all right, if I'm good enough, maybe I can work to that point.
No.
How different is that coming from now competing in APAC and you've not always had the opportunity?
I mean, so I started playing like I could just say good, super fast. So I went GC like within a couple months, and I still remember the first announcement when RLCS was coming to Asia. Like I think it was announced at like 4 a.m. my time, and I just like spam called my ex-teammate LCT, and bro, I was nearly crying. I was in tears because
Awesome.
I was at I was still one of the top players for about a year or like 2 years before RLCS came in, and it was like probably the happiest thing like I could ever imagine.
And of course, well, we've got Europe and North America who've been in it the entire time. Oscar, I'll throw it to you. Where did you grow up watching much of the RLCS and looking at the players that were representing the region, like your K-Dops, your Turbos, etc.?
I mean, I started playing the game when I was 8, like in 2015. Oh. So deep in it, it's like half my life.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm 17, I started when I was 8. Like, I was just like, school, football, Rocket League. That was basically it, to be honest.
Yeah. Colin, you similar kind of vibes?
Personally, I've been playing, I'm ancient 20.
Yeah.
Um,
All of you were born after 2000. You're not allowed to call yourself ancient.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I remember watching, being in North America, like everybody's favorite team, like it was Cloud9, like watching them, like everybody was watching Squishies like that. So going then to team with Torment and Gimmick after that, being like my first pro team was a crazy experience after watching them for so many years.
And being able to then play with JNAP, such an iconic.
JNAPs too is crazy, yeah.
Like, and then him being your
every
team.
once in a while I have to like remind myself of that. I'm like, JNAPs is like my teammate. That's crazy. Or like Tor is our coach. Like, that's crazy to think. Just like if I take myself out of it for a second, I remember like back when I was in school, like I'm 14, 15, watching them play, watching them win the world championship. Like or talking about Tor rather, like winning. It's just crazy to me.